Wine gets so mad for doing this, but she still entered the school at midnight when she thought no one would be there and she'll easily be able to get it. Wine, this is so wrong of me to do this. I want to kill that professor for doing this to me. Anyways, she took slow and light steps to move towards the staff room, keeping watch of her surroundings so that none can see her. She entered the staff room but heard some steps inside. When she came inside, there was no one. She shrugged it off, thinking that she must be hearing things, as she is scared right now. She advanced from one table to the other, but couldn't find what she was looking for. She was already getting anxious that she saw some light coming towards the room. It was the torch of the watchman, who was coming towards the staff room. She saw it and immediately went to the next table and hid behind it, but she saw someone hiding there already. She was already anxious, so when she saw him, she was about to scream that he put a hand on her mouth. She was too startled when she looked at him. She kept looking in his eyes that the watchman came and checked that there was no one inside. So he locked the door from the outside and went away. Jungkook slowly moved his hand away from her mouth, looking at her. She got up, getting embarrassed, and checked if the watchman left or not. She got away from him after checking. He also stood up in front of her. Jungkook, what are you doing here? Wine, I could ask you the same too. What's there that school's bad boy want to have so bad that he came to school at midnight? Jungkook, what's that have to do with you? She looked at the paper in his hand when he was talking. She snatched the paper in an instant, without him getting to react. She looked at the paper, and it was tomorrow's exam. Wine scoffed after looking at it. Is that why you came at midnight? Jungkook immediately snatched the paper from his hand, again saying, You better not tell anyone. It will be for your own good. Wine, is that a request or a warning? You should be polite when asking for something. Jungkook scoffed after having enough of her coldness. He smirked and started coming closer and closer to her, until she had to take steps back from him. Wine, what are you doing? Stay away from me, or I will tell everyone that you... Jungkook, right, you can tell everyone. But may I ask, what are you doing here? What will you tell when they ask you, what were you doing here? He said while still taking steps towards her, and when her back finally hit the wall, he put his hand on the wall with force and intensely looked in her eyes. If you open your mouth a little, you won't be able to escape from me. They looked in each other's eyes after that. The intense eye lock that they had made her completely blank and lose breath after looking at him. Although she should not, but she couldn't turn her eyes away from him. It was as if she wanted the time to stop for an eternity so that she can look in them. Jungkook, I don't have any interest in why you came here. I'm done with my work, so I'll go first. You can do whatever you want. He said and started walking towards the door. When he tried to open it, but could not. He tried again, but got to know that it's locked. The tension appeared in his eyes and forehead as he looked at her and said to himself, "Why now of all times? Does this mean I'm stuck with her for the whole night?" He whined, looking at her, when she noticed it. "Wine. What's wrong?" "Nothing big. Just that we're stuck for the night, as the door is locked," he said casually while taking a seat on one of the chairs. "Wine. What? Locked? With you?" She gets really startled and moves towards the door to try opening it herself. "Jungkook, why are you getting that anxious when it should be me? It's all because of you." Wine. "Me? What did I even do?" "Don't give me that. I was going to run, that suddenly you came, for I had to hide until you left. But the watchman came in meantime. Only if you didn't come." She came to his chair and asked him, "How is it my fault, huh? How would I have known that he will come at this time?" Jungkook stood up from his chair in anger and said to her, "Then why did you even come here when you didn't know this? I come here every year, so I knew this, but I'm still stuck because of you." "Every year?" she asked when her eyes and mouth wide opened from the shock. Jungkook, "Of course. Why would I study the whole syllabus when I can get the highest marks after doing only this?" Jungkook said while sitting on his chair again. Wine. "Wow, you're such an interesting man," she said when she was about to go from there. But Jungkook held her hand and pulled her towards him. "Where are you going now? Fix this because it's your fault. I can't spend the night here at any cost." "How can I fix it when I've already fallen?" she said, looking in his eyes when her hand is still held by him. They looked at each other again, but this time she asked him, "Why can't you spend the night with me? Do you have another bad thing to do?" Jungkook, "I promised my friends to spend the night with them. I can't stay." Before he could complete, she crashed her lips upon his. She kissed him for 5 seconds, but those were filled with only passion and love that were all felt by him in that short time. Jungkook, What the hell?" he said, trying to look at her, but she was only trying to avoid looking at him. "Wine, it's not my fault. I told you already, but you would not listen." Jungkook looked at her elegance while trying to avoid him, and especially her tomato red face from blushing. He was still startled about her move on him, that she already started walking away from him. "That was bold of you. I like it. Forget the friends," he said in a low tone and came in front of her to kiss her. Her eyes widened when she looked at him. It wasn't long that she started kissing him again, too, after closing her eyes. He dropped the exam paper that was in his hand when the kiss between them got deeper and deeper. They kissed each other with passion when he held her waist and pulled her closer. She ran her hands across his neck and went deeper again. "Yes, I can spend the night now," Jungkook said after breaking the kiss, and looking at her face, who was still trying to avoid him after doing this to him. Jungkook scoffed after looking at her. "You are still stealing sight?" He made her face up to look at him. "I don't know what happened to me that I kissed you. Now that I look at you, I think I didn't do anything wrong." She blushed looking at him when he held her in his embrace, still not saying anything. So Jungkook spoke up. Come on, where should we sleep now? He said, laughing. Why is there a need to sleep? I can manage if it's only one night. Wine said, getting shy and hesitant. Jungkook laughed again. No wonder you're my choice. Let's at least sit on the chairs. They sat on different chairs when Jungkook asked her, By the way, why did you come to school? Wine. To take my phone, which my homeroom teacher took from me when I misbehaved in class. Jungkook, you can't live without your phone for one night? Wine. No. If I don't talk to my mom before bed, I cannot sleep. That's why I had to do this. Jungkook, not even one night? What about today? Do you have to talk today too? Wine. Well, I guess today can be an exception. Jungkook smirked, hearing her, and pulled her chair towards his. He looked straight into his eyes and pecked her lips again. Wine. And what will you tell your friends? That I made a new friend, Jungkook said, for she laughed, looking at him.